Better check futures this morning. Yesterday we started out way down, ended up modestly lower. This morning, Dow's off 70, but the Nasdaq up about 36 points. And look who is here. We used to call him the Super Bull. I think we should still call the man the Super Bull. His name is Mike Lee, and he's with us today. Look, we have short-term deals in place with Canada and Mexico. Trump speaks with China later on today. What does all of that mean for the markets?
Well, look, I think from a Mexico standpoint, I view Mexico as like a failed narco state, and anything we can get them to do to help is good. But this is going to be a long battle with them. And then the deal with Canada is a win-win, right? Fentanyl's a problem for their country, too. And so for them to commit more resources and work with the United States and declare these cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, that is a massive achievement, a step only President Trump could have taken. They've known these cartels have been terrorist organizations for decades, but now it's a new level. From an economic standpoint, every other major market in the world has tariffs and barriers to entry except for the United States. Okay, it has been a massive long-term benefit for countries like India and China. So in the U.S., if we do reinstall tariffs and the market sells off, those are huge buying opportunities. You'll have short-term price shocks on specific things, but in the long run, it promotes domestic manufacturing and creates revenue for a treasury that is $37 trillion in debt.
Okay, Palantir. Look at him this morning. I think last time we quoted him, it was $104 a share. You're up about 23%. You've long favored this stock. You say one of the best investments around. How high does it go?
So, Stuart, today, in the next week, I'm not sure. I'd imagine we get a slight pullback, maybe $5 or $10. I don't know, though, right? So when the stock, hit the 70s and 80s, it pulled back to the mid-60s. That was a great buy just a week and a half ago. Morgan Stanley analyst came out with a naysayer, just upped his price target. Look, as artificial intelligence is coming about, as the way data is consumed and transformed on a permanent go-forward basis, they are the leader in software and implementing these big data, these large language models into businesses. These large language models being built with with NVIDIA chips without some sort of software component to drive it. They're just science experiments.
Buy it. It's going up from here.
Yes, I would say 50 cents now. Save your other 50 cents to look for some dips.
Okay, stay there. I've got more for you in a second. I want you to listen to what Democrats had to say about the administration shutting down USAID. Watch this.
This is a corrupt abuse of power that is going on.
This illegal, unconstitutional interference with congressional power is threatening lives all over the world.
This is a constitutional crisis that we are in today. Let's call it what it is.
We talked about Trump wanting to be a dictator on day one, and here we are. This is what the beginning of dictatorship looks like.
Elon Musk responded on X saying the corrupt politicians protesting outside the USAID building are the ones getting money from USAID. That's why they're there. They want your stolen tax dollars. Come on in, Ben Domenech. Why are Democrats keen on saving this agency?
Well, Stuart, the thing that is the problem with USAID, and this has been true for decades now, is that they don't like the United States part of USAID. This is a point that Marco Rubio made eloquently just yesterday. And this is something that has always been a very frustrating aspect of the way that they behave. They throw money in all these different directions overseas toward projects that would never get approved if they actually had to go through a traditional congressional review process. And the idea that we are in a constitutional crisis over something like this is absolutely laughable. USAID was created, obviously, by an executive order by President Kennedy back in the day. This is something that should absolutely be folded into and part of the tools used underneath the Department of State. And that's why I think that what is happening right now is a healthy dynamic, saying these are things that should not be just the ways for bureaucrats to spend money willy-nilly in accordance with woke or DEI political agendas. It should be something that is actually, decided and determined by people who've been approved by the Congress to lead the cabinet of the executive branch. And that's something that I hope we get to eventually.
Musk is surely making waves, isn't he? Ben Domenech, thanks for joining us this morning. Great day. Thank you, sir.
Good to be with you.
Trump signed a new executive order creating a sovereign wealth fund. How about that? Come on back in, Mike Lee. What's going into this wealth fund? Crypto, stocks, or some other asset?
Howard Lutnick is a deal maker, and he said it best, that if you're going to invest substantially in a company, if you're a private equity executive or if you're a foundation or you're giving money into a private entity like they did with the COVID vaccine, the United States government should get some sort of equity participation in that. And so I think you're going to see all sorts of things go into that. Hopefully a bunch of crypto. Hopefully when they sign massive contracts with private entities or enterprises that they get some sort of equity award or some way to participation in the upside that the taxpayer is funded. But look, this is a turning point in America. It's time for us to stop being this broke nation of a fiat currency where we keep just printing money into infinity, to start having some real monetary financial assets that we can point to for the long-term health of our country. I'm really excited.
It's a big switch. Mike Lee, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it, sir.